We're honored to have with us Cathi Chamberlain today. She's an activist down in Florida, comes highly recommended, has written for our paper, the Miami Independent, many times. Cathi, thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks for inviting me, Todd. I'm really excited to share the message I've got with you.
Well, Florida's a mess, but it's weird because people don't know it, right? Or the normies don't know it. The low information voters don't understand what's going on in Florida. So give us the 30,000-foot view of what's happening in the great state of Florida.
Well, quite literally, they're purging many outspoken MAGA, America First folks here in Florida. And they're doing it kind of silently, but not really. They're suspending so many Republican executive committees, folks. Those are the groups that are really the command and control centers of each county in every state, not just here in Florida, but ours are called Republican executive committees. And MAGA has been really successful at trying to get majority control over these. And once they do, the Republican establishment here in Florida shuts them down or purges the key members. It's absolutely ridiculous, and they're not hiding this at all. Inside.
It's kind of a just power play at this point, right? I mean, they're just going to do what they want to do. I mean, I was on the Miami-Dade executive committee, so I saw it straight up firsthand a couple of years ago, and it was just getting started because there was a big movement to, as you say, the precinct project, all of this to really take over local politics and bring in the MAGA base. And the Bush establishment clan in Florida doesn't like it.
Well, that's right. And, Dan Schultz with his precinct strategy, it's a great strategy. The problem is we can't use it within the establishment controlled Republican executive committees because the establishment doesn't want it. And really, the time that this all started, Todd, was just after the election was stolen. Because I'm sure you probably heard, but in our REC, and because I speak all over the state, I speak to a lot of RECs. And in every county, and the RPOF was going around telling us all to shut up about the stolen election of 2020, and we were all scratching our heads. It's like, what do you mean? They claimed that if we spoke too loudly about it, that nobody would show up for 2022. And I raised the question, hold on a second. Don't you think if you don't fix it, nobody's going to show up? I mean, that's the logical way to look at it, but they didn't look at it that way. So they swept it under the rug. And that's really when the big tensions began between MAGA and the RPOF.
All right. So, and that's the Republican Party of Florida for our national global audience. So Cathi, you've done something about it. You've written a book. Tell us about Rules for Radicals. And I'm going to pull your website up here.
Well, Rules for Radicals itself was written in the early 1970s by Saul Alinsky, as I'm sure
I meant Rules for whatever. You tell me.
I know everybody does that, but it's okay. It made the perfect intro. So what I did, because I used to be a flaming liberal, believe it or not, Todd, back in my California days, in the 80s and 90s, I was completely indoctrinated. The only thing that woke me up was H. Ross Perot. And he made a lot of sense. And that's when I started becoming independent. And then, of course, with our president, when he first announced he would run because of the primary here in Florida, I switched to Republican, which I've been now for over 10 years. In my own local Republican executive committee, I've been a member for 7 years. So what happened was, when our president was first elected, and we all know what hell he was put through by the enemy at the time, which was the left and the Democrats, who still are. But and so I remembered the Saul Alinsky book, Rules for Radicals, this required reading for many leftists and liberals. And so he has 13 tactics that are all designed to destroy our country and bring our systems down. So I wrote my first book back then attacking the Dems and the left, and that was Rules for Deplorables. Thanks for pulling that up. And that really, I take every single one of Alinsky's tactics, open up a chapter with each one using current events to try to explain to people the tactics being used against us and how we can use the same tactics actually back on them. So back then, the biggest enemy was the left and the Dems. People have been begging me to write a sequel, and I didn't have time because I'm very, very active in fighting the corruption here in Florida. And so I finally, when our president was reelected in 2024, I sat myself down and decided to write a new book that was desperately needed because our new enemy is within.
Yes.
That is the rhinos. And if anybody doesn't know what that stands for, it's Republicans in name only, RINO. And the rhinos, we see them every day in DC and feel so helpless because there's very little we feel we can get done there. But here locally, there's a lot people can do. And I have found out, Todd, that the problem isn't just here in Florida. And I'm sure your readers or listeners are well aware of this. But throughout the country, it seems that the establishment has taken control of all the leadership positions in the RNC, which is the Republican National Committee, all the way down to the state level, in our case, the RPOF, and the county levels, which is the REC. And I have found through my speaking that very few Republicans even know that there's a structure like this that we have that comes from the national level all the way down to the local level. So I decided to lay it all out in my book, but also then talk about what they're actually doing to decimate Trump's own base, which is shocking. I hope he knows.
Well, that's the big question, because, Laura Trump's kind of blessed this down in Florida. People are scratching their heads as to what actually is going on.
Your government doesn't care about you. That's why you need a medical emergency kit. It contains life-saving medications like ivermectin, Z-Pak, and antibiotics. Stock them before they block them.
A warm welcome here at the National Press Club. Welcome to the journalists, welcome to the Embra team, and welcome to the other guests that we have here. We're going to announce, and as some of you guessed it right when they came in, the first E2 order by an American operator. And that operator is Avello. We believe this is really a strategic shift to unlock profitability for the customer. I'm very pleased that we have Andrew Levy here as the CEO of Avello, and I'm very pleased to give the stage to share a little bit more about what Avello is going to do with the E2 195. Thank you very much.
Couldn't be more excited to be here as part of this historic announcement. We have such a great cultural fit as companies, so we're very, very excited to be Embraer's newest customer. We launched our airline in April of 21, and our target is focusing on small secondary airports of large metro areas. We've carried over 8 million customers since we started on 63,000 flights. And we've done all these things with 1,200 of the greatest crew members I could ever imagine having, and many of them are here with me today. This is the right airplane for us. It's going to open up opportunities for us that no other aircraft can serve. The best thing about the airplane, of course, is you will not find a middle seat on this airplane. It doesn't exist. We won't have any to offer. It's going to be the best cabin in the United States, and we're so excited about that. This is going to elevate our experience to the highest level, and we think our customers are absolutely going to love the airplane.
What are you hearing from across the country? Are you getting people calling you, can say, hey, come to Arizona? Or I know you're doing a lot of speaking, right?
Yeah, I primarily focus here in Florida, but and I was being called outside of the state back just before COVID hit with my first book, and obviously that put a nix on everything. And so I'm on a lot of those Zoom calls and X Spaces that I've realized that this is going on in every state. So people really need to wake up and coalesce, and that's when I write about when I was ready to release my second book, I received 4 grievances against me from my own party, looking to suspend me from the party. And that's because I was investigating what was going on, especially in Manatee. You probably know that Manatee REC is the one that we all kept hearing, suspended. How does that happen? Well, I decided to find out what really happened out there, because the RPOF, our top leaders in the state, were telling us all that they were just bad kids, and that they were complaining a lot, and it was dysfunctional. And so I started interviewing a lot of the key witnesses in that suspension from the MAGA side. And they literally had done such a great job at doing their own precinct committee strategy outside of their REC, because these RECs really aren't doing what they're designed to do. And they're just paying the money to get their chosen candidates that they can control in office. So what happened in Manatee, all the MAGA down there decided that they would get MAGA America First candidates into the commissioners' seats and board of the school board. And almost all of their candidates won over the well-funded RPOF candidates. And I think that really sent them, made them a little crazy. So I believe that's the reason they suspended Manatee, but I devoted my entire final chapter to that whole story, because it repeats itself over and over again. And in fact, interestingly enough, if people don't think this is coming to them, they've got another thing coming, because I spoke out at Brevard County several months ago, and I told them everything and what was going on. And their attitude was, oh, the RPOF won't do anything to us because we're doing everything right. We're following the rules. We're following the precinct strategy. And next thing you know, I get a call from them about a month later saying, oh, my God, exactly what you said was going to happen happened to us. So they're in a big fight right now to save their MAGA REC, and the RPOF has done a coup on them and is trying to shut them down. So, with the coalition that I co-founded, called APEC, American Patriot Executive Committee, love that little jab.
Perfect. Yeah.
What we're doing is gathering all of the MAGA America First groups in the state and coalescing them under one umbrella so that we can all work towards the same goals and force multiply our efforts. So we're up to now about 35 counties with membership in APEC, and growing constantly. People can join us by going to apecunited.com. We need to get to 67 counties. We're basically doing a run around the RPOF and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So we're highlighting candidates who are true conservatives and that we know are well vetted, and we're vetting them through their own counties. So who better knows who's MAGA and who's a rhino other than people in their own counties? And we're up to about 170 members now. So people are really upset.
So let's say you're a person who maybe not that knowledgeable, maybe you're on the Republican committee somewhere, but you really want to get active, or maybe you're just someone who wants to make a difference in Florida. What are the top 3 things you should do? I mean, where do you point them? How do they get involved? What mistakes should they avoid? All of that.
Well, the biggest mistake, newbies, let's call them, even though they may be a Republican voter for 30 years, many of them still don't know the hierarchy and how it's all organized. So my first suggestion is for them to actually join their local REC, but do it without blinders on, because the RPOF and the local RECs count on new membership that have no clue what I just explained to your audience. They don't know that the establishment is working against Trump's own base. And that there's that kind of division there. So, but just to kind of learn the ropes, yes, you can go join your local REC. Just Google it. Google Republican Party in your county, and this can be done anywhere in the country, actually. And then go and sit in on a few meetings and just stay alert, because they don't follow the rules. And as soon as you challenge them, you're going to have a target on your back. But we can't change without changing from within. And so I do encourage people to stay in the REC, keep your eyes open, and work from within. Make them kick you out, because the more they kick out, like me, and you, by the way, you can find the grievances they filed against me. They're shocking, because they're literally freedom of speech. They literally suspend me, taking my freedom of speech, my freedom of assembly away, and they do it in black and white without even hiding it. And so
I filed 40. Not just me, but I filed for 40 different people in Miami-Dade a grievance to the RPOF, and no response. Not even an email. We received it. Nothing for years. It's amazing.
It's shocking. It's like purposefully, intentionally trying to keep the membership down so that they can control. Because you never see more than 100 people. I just spoke to Miami-Dade, by the way, last week. And yes, and I was treated very nicely by them. I just love them. I'm being censored all over the state right now by the RPOF, who is threatening the local RECs not to allow me to speak. They're threatening the Republican charter groups in each county not to have me speak. So if anybody knows a club that would like to have a speaker to come and explain all this, please reach out to me. The other way they can, to answer the rest of your question there, Todd, the other way people can help is to join APEC. We need you. And what we're doing is now we're right in the middle of finalizing a great endorsement package to put candidates through. So if any of our APEC members in a different county, last night I was in Polk speaking, they have a America First candidate that they're desperately trying to get help for, because it's hard to go up against the establishment because they've got all the money. But folks, don't lose hope. We are the grassroots. We have all the energy. And so what we're going to do is reach out to, we have a couple of PACs, they call them PCs here in Florida, but who are really anxious to work with us. And so how we're going to do this in the future is any member of APC can contact us, let us know that they have a America First candidate, and then we're going to hold press conferences throughout the entire state, all on the same day, highlighting that candidate. Reaching out for mega millionaires. There's a lot of them in our state that just don't know who to vote. They keep giving their money to the establishment, not knowing they're doing more damage. So we got to get these establishment rhinos out of office. We see what happens in Tallahassee when we have a super supposed majority of Republicans and they still don't vote for the people.
So what's the website for APEC?
It's very simple, apecunited.com. You'll find forms there that you can fill out and join us through there.
So, and tell me where to get the book. Where should people go?
Thanks, Todd. People can get the book on Amazon very easily. And by the way, it reached #1 in its first week out in comparative politics for new releases. My first book reached #1 in politics in the first year out. So
that's impressive.
They're actually intense books. There's 400 footnotes in each one. People will not be bored. Believe me, I go through transhumanism and I go through the Committee of 300, the council, the Ziggy. I'm sure you're well aware of the Ziggy Council and those are towards the back of the book, just to get people really energized that this fight is not over. We have a lot of work to do.
Outstanding. And how would people get in touch with you? Is it on the website if they want to, or on X, or how?
They can go to my personal website for my books, actually my author website, which is Rules for Deplorables Book. Get that book in there, rulesfordeplorablesbook.com. They can also order autographed copies that way. That's the best way, directly from you, right? That's where you benefit the most as an author, I know. Actually, either way, I benefit a lot by speeches. So that's what I really encourage people to try to get me out to. If they like my message and they want to keep me busy, this is how to do it. They can also email me at Cathi, CATHI, rules, FOR, rhinos, RINOS, cathi@gmail.com.
Cathi, thank you so much. We'll have you back down the road. I really appreciate it.
I sure appreciate it, Todd. Thanks
All
for
right,
letting me
take
get
care.
the message out.
You
You
bet.
take care. Bye.
Bye.